everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Tamara, aka Mastermind T, and this channel is called Mastering My Social Work because you are the master of your social work. You are mastering however you use your social work, what it looks like for you, your niche, everything. You're the master of your social work. So this video is going to be about why I am getting my doctoral degree in something other than social work. I know. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it, right? Like, why? You're not getting your DSW. You're not getting your PhD in social work. No, ma'am, no, sir. No ham, no Pam, no. So, now, I'm not knocking anyone who decides to do that. One of my good friends is graduating in May. She's walking with her doctorate in social work. Kudos to her. I need to read her dissertation and her paperwork and all that stuff because your girl has to do hers next year. But I'm looking at my down here, y'all, because I wrote down some stuff because it's late at night and I'm drinking some coffee. You might have seen this shirt in another video. It's the same night. I'm trying to knock out this content, so please give your girl a like. Please comment, please subscribe, but at least please like the video, y'all, please. So yeah, so why I decided not to get my doctorate degree in social work, okay? So, one, I don't think I talked about it on this channel, but in my vlog channel, my personal life channel, I did talk about it. I'm an Air Force veteran. I was in the Air Force for 6 years. And there I had some good leadership. I had some not so good leadership. At the time when I was in the Air Force, I didn't ever see myself as wanting to be a leader at all. But I did see how great leadership really can like affect your life and your quality of life and your mental health. And that's also going to be, that's a little touching a bit on the topic of my dissertation. Is going to be on leadership and your mental health, and we're going to dive more into that. But yeah, that was the first time I was just like, ooh, like leadership here is like leadership, like what's going on? Also, when I worked as a medical social worker, I had a manager say to me, Tamara, don't forget this or do this when you become a leader one day. And I looked at her like, that's how I'm, listen, I did not want to be a leader at all. That wasn't, what, leader who? No. And I was like, looking at her like, I don't really want to be a leader. She's like, I'm just saying. She seen the leadership quality in me. She was like one of the directors of the company of our department. So she was like high up. So I'm just like, but at the time I was just like, like, thank you that you're saying this to me, that you believe in me and you see that potential in me. But yeah, no, I'm not feeling it. But so yeah. So I'm rolling back into, so Air Force, good leadership, not so great leadership. But the one great leader that I had, I'm thinking about her, love her. She really like advocated for me. She had a lot of people underneath her. It was a lot for her. But she did the best she could for all of us, and I love her for that. She did a really awesome, amazing job. My manager, well, she was really the director, who said what she said to me in regards to like, remember this, or she said a comment to me about remember something or doing something when I become a leader one day. And I appreciate that. And the person who said this to me, she was not a social worker. She was a nurse. She had a doctorate in nursing. And at the time, I didn't really know a lot of people in leadership positions that were social workers. So that's something I wanted to do. My managers were all nurses, and I was just like, man, like, why are there no leadership and there's no social workers as leaders here? Asked my colleagues, we, talked about it, and that was just something I was just like, wow, like we need social workers and leadership roles here. And I'm a strong advocate for social workers and leadership roles everywhere that I feel probably fit the job, but I feel like really you can make social work fit almost any job. So anyhow, I digress. But yeah, I feel like we need more social workers and leadership roles, and I have my highest licensure. I can have my LCSW. I can already diagnose. I can do therapy. I can open my own practice. I can do all of that. So I wanted to get a degree in something that was going to diversify myself as well. I have all these different options, but I also find the lure of like the business side of social work or being your own entrepreneur attractive as well. That's another reason why. Please go watch my why is financial freedom important for social workers. Watch that video. I'm a firm believer in financial freedom. I also believe in having different streams of income, different streams of revenue. And being an LCSW, you can definitely have your own part-time side business. You can be in business for yourself. So to be clear, my doctorate degree is in leadership with a concentration in business management. So yeah, I feel like anyone really, I feel like is their own business, but definitely we as social workers, we are our own business. We are our own enterprise. Okay. So, like I said, my LCSW, I have my highest license that I can have in the state of Virginia where I am. And I'm just interested in having social workers in leadership roles. My current position where I'm at now, my supervisor is an LCSW. Love that. I've never had a supervisor above me, except for another company too, but it was like we had our social work manager, and then we had the nurse manager was always above, always overrode or override what the social work manager said, and it was kind of like they had more say so, and I just don't like that. So, and also I have my own website. I haven't launched it yet. I'm gonna launch it soon when I have time to really go full force. I've just finished my classes for the semester, so I'll have more time. I decided I'm not doing summer school. So since I decided, I'm gonna have some more free time so I can launch my website and just launch a couple other things that I want to launch and go like full force into that. So I'm excited about that. But the whole business aspect of having my doctorate in leadership and business management. I want to be a leader one day. I love the business side of being a social worker. And a lot of people, even in one of my doctoral classes, it was management consulting. And I pretty much had to kind of we had to do our elevator pitch and all this stuff as from my standpoint, because for my website it's like consulting, professional development, resume writing, supervision, which I'll be providing as well. I'll be licensed in a few other states soon, but a lot of different services that I plan to provide. And some people kind of couldn't wrap their head around like a social worker as a consultant, or you're a licensed clinical social worker, like what are you, like what, they couldn't wrap their head around it, but I was able to reel them in. You might not understand it, but I do. And that's important. As long as I understand the mission at hand and I get to it, that's really all I need for you to get. But anywho, so yeah, recap, I was in the Air Force. I saw examples of good leadership, bad leadership, even in the civilian world. More so bad leadership than good leadership. Not really too many social work leaders. I want to be a social work leader one day. Even if it's not even for a social work department, I could be a standalone leader. I will say at one of my previous employers, for the whole huge company, the executive of the whole hospital was a social worker. And I was like, yes, ma'am. She did have her doctorate in social work, but I was just like, yes, like I love that. Like I love that. And even in my position right now, my technical role is not social worker. Because social workers, your role, your title can be something different. But at the end of the day, I'm a social worker. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I have to kind of remind people that, like, oh, you're a social worker? Yes, ma'am. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. My title might say this, but I am a licensed clinical social worker. Social workers can do so many different things. But anywho, let me not get up on that tangent because I love social work. But so Air Force, there's not that many social work leaders that I've seen. I love the business aspects of being an LCSW, being able to be your own entity. Love that. LCSW, I already have my highest form of licensure. I really feel like if I would have received my doctorate in social work, I don't really feel like that would really add. I really don't feel like I could do anything different with that than what I'm already doing now. So that leads me to number 4, diversifying myself. I always like to have options. But I also believe in not limiting yourself, right? I have a bachelor's in psychology. I have a master's in social work. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I have my LCSW, the highest form of licensure. I love leadership. I love leadership roles. I love really good leadership. And I love business as well. So why not go ahead and dive in that? And I can get my doctoral degree in that. And I can be a social work manager, supervisor, leader. But even though You do not need a doctoral degree to be a leader. You don't need that. But for me, that's something that I personally wanted to do. And I'm not paying for it out of pocket. That's a whole nother story, a whole nother video. So I know, like, oh, that's student loans. No, I'm not paying for it out of pocket. If you want to know how I'm not paying for that out of pocket, and actually how I get a stipend, I'll do a whole nother video on that. But I'm not paying for it out of pocket, so no more student loan debt for me. Like, no. But yeah, so that wraps it up. Hopefully I didn't talk too much in circles, y'all. It's Friday night. I'm kind of tired, but this is the only time I have to film content. I wanted to film some content out for y'all. I really did. So yeah, thank you all for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please leave comments. I definitely get back to you all. I'm gonna have my email address in the description box. Also, if you have any questions or comments, or if you have any video suggestions that you're like, I'm searching for this and I can't find it, please let me know. And like I said, thank you so much for watching. Bye.